time here every morning for the future from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 2 hours of live stream writing accountability, followed by a half-hour max-ish share what you did wrap-up chat. So in case you're new, the way this works is that you can keep this live stream open in a separate window, separate tab as background noise as though we were in a digital shared workspace, or you can watch along, read along with me as I get work done for 2 hours. So, I actually need to do that. So, there's updates that need to happen. So you're going to notice as I get myself all squared away here this morning that, I'm sharing my whole screen with you so you can see that I'm working in a tabbed window, and I'm not going to be able to see the chats on YouTube or Twitch during the 2 hours of live stream writing accountability. That's why we have the wrap-up chat, all right? So during the 2 hours, you can hop into the chats, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you happen to be, that is your preference. And you can leave any comments about what it is you're working on, or questions regarding, tips and advice for writing any difficulty you're having in your projects. You can make comments or ask questions about anything I happen to be working on. And of course, all comments and questions regarding the creative process in general are very much welcome. And I will respond to each and every single one of them starting at 11 o'clock. Now, I am going to keep YouTube and Twitch open in separate tabs. This is particularly important for Twitch so that I don't lose any of the chat, because if you so much as hit refresh when you're watching a live stream, all chatting that was previous to your hitting refresh, it goes bye-bye. Also, any whispers that you send me, I look at them while I check them for whatchamacallit. Any inappropriate language or imagery or things like that. But I check that outside of the stream, but I do prefer to check them during the stream because that is part of the whole wrap-up chat process. So, looks like we're getting all squared away here. Move that over, close that, check that that's squared away, all good, and now to here. So there should have been, oh, yeah, there it is, okay. So what? No image share now that I'm not using buffer? Fuck you, Twitter! Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'm gonna have to... Alright. I'll have to square that at some point. Sorry, I didn't realize that I had forgotten to put the screen back so that you could see my message for you. Usually I remember to put that back. Anyway. It is chilly in the Wonder Tales studio. What's the temperature right now outside? 55. Great. Okay, dokes. Right, was I looking next? Alright, so that's on the calendar. 18 is 26. It's the list in the group that I paired together, not the page in the group. That's right. take off the caps lock. Gross. just for a second so you can't see the thing. Where the hell is the thing for... to like look at this really thoroughly, so I'm just not screen sharing for the moment because like just in case sensitive information gets put on. But I need to find the thing that lets me post to social media. I just need to for, there's the word for it. No, let me check something. So, is that why it didn't share before? Because what is that sharing? So, okay. Okay, so that's what that is. Interesting. I need another plug in apparently. Are you kidding? Where is it? Sorry, I can cut back now, I think. So if I set that up. Seriously? That's what it is? It's a separate thing? Right. I already have Jetpack. Okay, so where's the sharing? Automated social media posting, right? Where? How? How, asshole? Are you freaking kidding me? What? No. No. Jackass. cross-posting to Medium. Second, in case it does anything sensitive. Does that like out of friggin' nowhere all the time. And it's 11:01. So, gonna back to screen sharing here and come over here. So, in case you're new to the wrap-up chat, I'm gonna get wrap-up chat. There's the agenda, here's the brief summary I'm gonna be giving, and I'm going to what was the next thing that I was going to work on that? Who even friggin' knows? Okay, so I'm going to give you a brief rundown of what it is I got done with some explanation as to why. And then I will respond to all comments and all questions on YouTube and Twitch. I've kept them open as separate tabs the whole time, and they're still open. So if you want to leave any comments or questions about what it is that you've been working on, what it is I've been working on, and the creative process in general, please feel free to do that now. So first I went and shared to Twitter. That is the thing that I did. I decided to stop buffering things and start just posting things manually. And I got frustrated today because it didn't post the Facebook group image with the thing, with the link that I posted today. So that was aggravating, and I was thinking about reactivating the whole buffer setup that I had, and I still might. Son of a bitch. Just to keep things moving along on Facebook and LinkedIn a little bit. I'm not proactive on those. I don't, the Facebook page and the LinkedIn page. I just need to get it squared away. I just need to get it squared away. So I'm going to put that over here on my general can-do list. Square away buffer with manual image uploads. All right, so that's the first thing I got done. Second thing I got done was to write my daily blog post on Medium, which was breaking down the factors going into why Sally Forth is no longer going to be my priority project. So I'm going to, you know, there's all the reasons on my calendar, all the things that are coming up during these 100 days that, you know, they pull focus, and there are things that are on, and the things that are coming up on the 100 days, a lot of them are ongoing things that are always going to be on my calendar in one way or another. And as such, having a priority project, there's like the soft priority project, where that's when you're, you know, slowly getting the writing done and letting the project tell you how long it's going to be and what form it's going to take. And then there's the hard priority, which is when that's the central thing I'm focusing on during the 100 days. And that's better. The hard priority is better suited to, you know, you've got the writing done now, or the bulk of the writing done, and now it's time to tie up all the loose ends, right? You can't, having all the other writing priorities that I do, trying to force a project from its very beginning to its very end within 100 days. That's something I need to work up to. So there's something that's been discussed here in the past about how however much time you give yourself to get a thing done, that item is going to expand or contract to fill that spot. Now, sometimes that's good. You can train yourself to take a shorter amount of time with a certain task by slowly bringing in the timeline for that task, the time period set for that task over an extended period of time. So if you give yourself all day to write a paragraph, and then you change it to, it's like, all right, all day, how many hours of the day does that mean? And you give yourself a hard 8 hours deadline, and then you move it to 7 hours, and then you move it to 6 hours, and you progressively shorten how much time you give yourself to write a paragraph, so that you can consistently get a paragraph done first thing in the morning in that first hour, and then another paragraph in the second hour, and another, so that maybe you can, in that way, in bringing down the amount of time you assign to getting a paragraph done, you open up the rest of your day to get more paragraphs and more writing done. So the editing was basically what I spent of 31 Days of Narrative Teams, and turning it in and then really crystallizing it into the project or the guided journal, The 4 Gifts You Carry. That editing was my last 100 days. That was the thing that filled the time, was the editing. And if I want the editing to be just the last 25 days of 100 days. I have to work up to that. So these 100 days, I'm shifting the focus. Away from Sally Forth while I figure out what timetable that project is actually on. And in figuring out what timetable that project is actually on, working to figure out, to square away everything that's going on with my online presence. So there's platform assessment. That's what this should be. Presence. No. Damn it. I need to find a better name for this assessment. So, Better Storytelling, better-storytelling.com is my central author website, and I'm not really treating it as such. It looks like it's my central author site. It's beautiful, but I'm not treating it as my central author site. And that's what I want to focus on for the time being. So I am going to have to update this, and Sally Forth is going to be my priority project for a while. And I'm squaring things away so that, Anyway, go to my blog post for today to see, like, all the different calendar things, all the different headspace things, all the different, you can see all the things as to why I'm going to be focusing on better storytelling. Or what led me to not prioritizing on the novella that doesn't know which it is yet. So today I prioritized better storytelling, or I started to. I added a plugin to the WordPress site so that starting tomorrow, when I write my daily blog post, I'll actually be writing it on the Better Storytelling site, and it will be cross-posting to Medium. And then I also set up the Jetpack plugin to automatically share the blog posts from the WordPress to social media. So there is going to be that switch around starting tomorrow. Because Medium is the blog, I should say, is my best audience, and I'm going to have, like, the cross-linking. That's the decision I was making. The cross-linking, yes, I want cross-linking because that will let people know that, yes, you're reading this on Medium because you've always been reading this on Medium, but it's starting over here on Better Storytelling, and all the social point toward better storytelling. Yeah. That's gonna be exciting. Yeah, I gotta work on my my general can-do list, because I'm not going to be focusing as heavily on Sally Forth. So I am going to be, yeah. So I worked on Better Storytelling, and now it is time for me to respond to your comments and questions. So here on YouTube, we have nothing. Totally cool. It happens. And then over here on Twitch, we have Almostly There saying hello. Hello, Almostly There. And also we have some whispers in here. Specifically these two that I found this morning as I was getting all set up. So, before, Ryan the Gladiator had asked me how I was. Or, no, they had just sent this. I'm not entirely sure what they were responding to when they said that. Maybe just the fact that I was saying that it was 11 o'clock yesterday, and I gave them a thumbs up. They said late reply and how are you? I told them, you know, wasn't late. This is the format of how I run the live stream. And that I, you know, 2 hours of writing followed by the wrap-up chat, which starts with a brief summary where I'm still not seeing the chat yet, giving people extra time to respond in the chat. And let them know where the archive for that is, bit.ly/roastermusic. To which he responded that that was so businesslike and that they were doing good. So in response to their saying that I was very businesslike in my response to their question of how are you, I am going to respond this way, or I am now responding this way. Thank you. I will most definitely be taking that. As a compliment. With my OCD, it's very important to have guidelines as to how I do/communicate things, and given that I am seeking to, you know what? I'm just gonna say I will take that as a compliment. Thank you. That's it. No more explanation than that. I need to be better about not having to explain everything all the time. That's a big part of my OCD. The nature of it is such that I'm constantly explaining myself, constantly trying to, whatchamacallit, I'm just always trying to prove myself as being entertaining and informative and, like, basically not evil. So I over-explain myself a lot of the time. Anywho, Joe G89, G89? I don't know why the G is before the 89 like that. Hello again. Do you write nonfiction or fiction or both? Hey there. I write all the things. It depends on where. It depends on what idea in particular has my focus. And what format is best for executing that idea. In case you aren't watching live, you can catch further explanation in today's archived video at bit.ly/R Rose J music. And that further explanation is this: nonfiction, fiction, or both. Fiction. What do I write? I write fairy tales, which are fiction, but are also true because they have archetypal universal truths inherent into them, while on the surface they are fiction. So fairy tales count as both fiction and nonfiction. And actually, technically, all fiction counts as both fiction and nonfiction, so long as you are ascribing to the principle of universal truths. If you're looking for something that is pure nonfiction, then there are my essays on holistic storytelling and my blog posts. Fiction. I write fiction and nonfiction. I combine things and I separate things. My brain is still waking up. I apologize. I'm at the point in my cycle where I have the least energy possible physiologically, and it does confuddle my brain a little. Confuddle's another word, but it should be, which is why I'm writing it down. So confuddled. I am a little confuddled. Fiction that I write. I write fairy tales. I write short stories. I write longer works of fiction if I have the time and space to really build up to that. The fiction available online right now, you can find it at Exterminating Angel Press, the magazine, and you can find it on Inkshares. With regards to nonfiction, you can go to thegoldengooseeggs.com, and there you will find articles on holistic storytelling. You'll find journaling prompts. You'll find a link to a guided journal that I wrote, that I finished and published for my last 100 days of morning writing. For more nonfiction, you can also go to thepenrosetrekkie.com, where I blog my way through experiencing Star Trek episodes for the first time. Yeah. I've made myself into a Trekkie. All the blog posts regarding the original series, all of those posts are actually being reposted, and they're actually posting on the 50th anniversary dates of each relevant episode's original air date. So that's fun. And if you join the list for that, you will get goodies. You'll get all sorts of goodies as part of the monthly mission reports, whether it's links to whatever episodes I happen to blog about in a given month, or special Penrose Trekkie only downloads of various poetry projects. So I just sent the digital zine edition out of Random Bearings last month, or at the start of this month. At the start of June, I'll be sending out a new PDF of the original sonnets that I wrote for the original series the first time that when I first went through the original series back in 2013. And yeah, it's a fun project, and I am on the back end here slowly working my way through all of the other series as well, and gearing up blog posts for those too. Blog posts and sonnets. That's a little trickier because I usually watch the episode and almost immediately write the sonnet in about half an hour, and then it takes me a little bit longer to write the blog post. But it all happens in that one sitting. So it's not usually something that I'm live streaming, because I don't want to infringe on any Star Trek copyright by live streaming video of the various series. So I write all the things. All right. Now I have a new message here from Ryan the Gladiator. No problem, Rose. You remind me of Sheldon's wife on The Big Bang Theory. I will also take that as a compliment. Thank you. I actually do have quite a bit in common with the character of Amy Farrah Fowler. If you replace her being a neurobiologist, that's what she is, right? Yeah. A neurobiologist with being a storyteller and poet. I have studied the brain extensively, but mostly just from the behavioral aspect. I'm not a neurobiologist, so it's not really my job to go around dissecting brains. But it is fascinating. And that's interesting that you would call her Sheldon's wife when they just got married. I want to talk about that for a second. She's been on the show for a while. She has a name. And the marriage just happened. That is very new. That was the conclusion to the most recent season. It was a beautiful wedding. Beautiful. I love that she wanted to be all Little House on the Prairie with it, and he wanted to just go full on. Oh my god. He just wanted to go full Sheldon on it. Not that I would have disapproved. One thing I don't have in common with Amy Farrah Fowler is, or maybe I do have this in common with her. I'm getting confuddled again. She and the other women on the show are decidedly not, she and the other main females on the show, I should say, the other significant others, they are all now wives on the show. She and the other female significant others on the show, none of them are sci-fi fans, except in the most cursory kind of a way. But there was an episode where the women folk got into the comic books and were reading them and discussing them. And the guys had gone out of town. They were going to Comic-Con, and that was why they decided to read the comic books, was to try to figure out why they got dressed up, why their boyfriends all got dressed up to go to Comic-Con. And they got in a lot of fights, mostly over Thor's hammer, which is totally understandable. Even in, not this most recent Avengers movie, but the previous one. Actually, the previous one was Civil War. The first, yeah, it was, wait. Yes. No. How many Avengers movies are there now? Oh my god. There's the Avengers where the team is assembled. There's the Avengers where they create the team member, they create Vision, and it becomes part of the whole shtick of, all right, we're on the fourth Avengers movie now. There's the fourth Avengers movie. Civil War was in large part about Rogers wanting to give Bucky a second chance at being a hero, and everybody being like, no, even friggin' Iron Man, even though that was so hypocritical of him. Like, you're just on the wrong side, dude. You're gonna be all hypocritical and shit like that. Just by default. By default, I think we can agree that, or just by default, Captain America is going to be more right than Tony Stark. Tony Stark will be very entertaining, always. But Captain America, he questions shit thoroughly. Much more thoroughly than everybody else. Even when he knows there's a conflict of interest because he's trying to give his best friend a second chance, he still knows that the whole Bucky thing needs to be contained and then reversed. And everybody else is like, nope, it's containment and that's it. You're done. Just so many things about that. But no. We were talking about Amy Farrah Fowler. You referred to her as Sheldon's wife rather than calling her name. And it's like, you know the name of the show and you know Sheldon's name and you know that he got married. You should at the very least know her name, given she's been on the show for years. All I'm saying there. How did I get on the topic of Avengers? Thor's hammer. Yes, Rose, do the hand thing. Do the hand thing. That helps you stay on track. Amy Feller, Sheldon's wife, things I have in common with, and I've handled that. Things I have in common with Amy Farrah Fowler. Making myself a fan. That's what it was. I made myself a fan of Star Trek starting in 2013. The women on The Big Bang Theory almost made themselves fans, but I think the writers gave up on that after that fight regarding Thor's hammer and what makes someone worthy to hold it, what or to carry it. In the comic books, at one point, Captain America is able to lift the hammer. In the films, he nudges it a little and nobody else was. And there's a beautiful, just a little quick cut to of Thor's face when he sees the hammer nudge. And as soon as it nudges, Rogers lets go. He's like, I can't do it, I can't do it. But you have to wonder, given Rogers' nature, if maybe he is, just like in the comics, fully capable of lifting that hammer, but he chose not to. He chose not to make a thing of it. He chose the humbler path, right? He was able to, even in that moment of everybody just drinking and shooting the shit, and Hulk not hulking out to try to lift the hammer. And then they're still talking about the whole movie. It's like, elevator's not worthy. Elevator's, oh, it's so good. But in the they didn't, the writers did not allow the women to go full fan at any point. Even though they read the comics and they have that discussion. Usually if you're, after one day of reading something, you get that invested in the dialogue, you want to learn more about it. It's a little bit in the vein of, or a lot of it in the vein of lazy storytelling, that the women characters were not allowed to further develop their own fanhood after that episode. They just completely reverted back to, we only have a cursory interest in this shit. We're only going to bring it up when we need a proper analogy that can mess with you to explain something to the men. Like, there was a moment for some real growth on that show to bring everybody on the same page and to stop looking at women as lesser than fans. And the writers, I feel, dropped the ball on that. Kind of like how you were referring to Amy Farrah Fowler as. Sheldon's wife is a little bit dropping the ball, just a bit. So, back into the chat. Joquette was here. It is I. Hi. So, have you read Digis yet? I have not read Digis yet. Okay. So that is something I'm going to put over here. Joquette Digis. Things have been going crazy on my end of things, so I'm doing a lot of digital reorganizing before I can get to reading new things online. I also have a physical reading list, like a list of physical books that I'm reading. So much to friggin' read. And I have a play next weekend, so I have to memorize my lines still. Don't tell Corinne. She's not watching this. Joquette was here. Who's Thor? Thor is the son of Odin in Norse mythology. He is a god of thunder, and he has a magic hammer. Magic. Civil War was a Captain America movie, but it focused on Captain America, but it was called Avengers Civil War. Thor's hammer. You see, you've written out Thor's hammer. You writing it out does not mean I'm going to be able to pronounce it. And in fact, I can't pronounce it. I am a member of the Scandinavian Women's Chorus of Rhode Island. And every time we learn a new Swedish song, a member of our group who actually immigrated here from Sweden when she was 19 very line by line reads the Swedish to us and we recite it back to her in order to learn the pronunciation for every song, even if we already know the songs. Digeus. Okay, Digeus. Your book is Digeus. I knew who Thor was. That's a joke. I can't be sure. You know, things are just happening in the chat. Who knows whether or not you're joking about knowing who Thor is? Some people don't know who Thor is. Mjolnir? That seems too easy of a pronunciation. It was called Captain America Civil War? All right, I will trust you on that. I'm all confuddled. Today's the first day of my period, which means I am at the absolute lowest point of physical energy, and it does affect my ability to think straight. Digeus. So, Digeus, like, haha, dimple. Okay. I'm all confuddled, you people. Mjolnir and Digeus. I'm willing to bet my cat on it. I feel so sorry for your cat that you're willing to bet them on anything. Why would you ever bet someone's life, animal or mineral? No, bet money. I won't be able to place any money on it, but, you know, there's that. It's Monday, and Is today a good day to follow up with the bookstore when I'm all confuddled? If I just keep my mouth shut when I go. Today's the day I put on the calendar for that. I'm all over the place. And the timer went off. Only cats and chickens. Nope. Still not with you on betting lives on things. Cats and chickens. Also, no cat is going to let you bet its life on shit. Have you read Puss in Boots? Like, the Miller's son is sitting next to the cat and it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. All I have is this dumb cat. I should skin it, eat it, and make a muff of its fur, and then starve to death. And the cat, who could very easily just waltz the fuck away from this loser, turns to him and is like, calm down. I can fix this. Because it wants to. This cat, whose, like, main goal in life is to catch mice and knock shit off the shelves, looks at this idiot who probably doesn't even know how to skin a goddamn cat. Is all, you know, you're too useless even to come after me, so I'm just gonna do you a favor, get you set up, which is gonna, by extension, set me up. You just have to sit around and eat the food I bring you until it's all squared away. And also do as I say. Like taking off your clothes and jumping in a river. And then make googly eyes at a princess. Like, you know. Just keep your mouth shut. Google it. I'm not in the mood to give a shit. I trust that you being on your end, like you've Googled it. Like, you said that you were willing to bet your cat's life. I'm just not, like, I'm done being interested because you did that. I'm done being interested. Don't bet lives on things. Like, dude, if you're not willing to bet your own life, don't bet your life on shit. Like, just, or any life on shit. English Rose. Oh, it is 11:37. My cat is safe now. What do you mean your cat is safe now? Did you take the bet back? That's how your cat is safe, by you saying that you didn't mean it. Puss in Boots not as good as Garfield. Do you realize we wouldn't have Garfield if it wasn't for Puss in Boots? Do you fucking realize that Puss in Boots is essentially Garfield's ancestor. Like, that's just rude. That's just rude. Because I won. You can't declare yourself a winner if I don't give a shit. It's not actually a competition unless both parties are invested. And I'm not invested. I'm not. I was just sitting here confuddled, trying to remember which Avengers movie had the one where they were talking about Thor's hammer and who could lift it and who couldn't, in order to relate it to the Big Bang Theory episode, where the women folk of that episode, Bernadette, Penny, and Amy, are all reading their boyfriends' comic books and trying to figure out who, where, and how people are lifting Thor's hammer. Oh my god. Oh my god. I need a nap. That's what's happening. I need a snack and I need a nap. That is my plan now. I'm gonna go make quesadillas and hopefully not burn myself. It is 11:39. I'm not gonna apologize for being tired. My body's gonna do what my body's gonna do. Whoa, put your glasses back on, Rose. Just do that. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm Rose Drew Music, your live stream writing accountability partner, and I'm here every morning for the foreseeable future from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 2 hours of live stream writing accountability, followed by a half-hour max-ish Share What You Did wrap-up chat, where I respond to all the comments and all the questions on both YouTube and Twitch. Just double checking I didn't miss any on YouTube. I did not. Fantastic on YouTube and Twitch regarding your creative projects, my creative projects, and the creative process in general, because those are really valuable conversations to have. They help you to iterate on your creative process and help to just move through those blocks and just come at things from different angles. All good things for the creative process happen when you stop to talk about your work, other people's work, and the process of that work. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow. Good journey, my friends.